The first boat in the 37th America's Cup, Alinghi Red Bull Racing's Boat Zero, has been launched in the venue of the races, Barcelona, Spain. Boat Zero is the highly modified first boat built by Emirates Team New Zealand for America's Cup 36th.
I think that's a pretty good case. We can come down slowly here. Everyone happy?
Here you go. And
thank you, Chair. Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
One without the can, put it in your back. The can, put it out forward.
Okay, look here. Here.
It's like Christmas for us today because we can see the boat in the water for the first time. There is still a lot of work to do to be able to sail it, but everyone on the short team and the design team are working really hard to give birth to our first flight.
We are in Barcelona and today Alinghi Red Bull Racing did the Boat Zero christening. So it was a big step for the team, a big milestone achieved. So we are all very happy and proud from our short team, and very, very glad to be here. So this boat, it was originally it was boat one from Team New Zealand from the previous America's Cup. So Alinghi Red Bull Racing bought it and has been preparing it the last few months. The short team did an amazing job, have been pushing a lot of hours to make it possible, and yeah, there she is.
So we're in Barcelona today because the America's Cup will take place in 2024 here just in front of the city. And today was a big milestone. We splashed our first boat, our first AC75, and we're gonna need every day to prepare for the race in 2 years' time. Yeah, so really looking forward to sail the boat. Like the whole Alinghi Red Bull Racing team has put in a huge effort to get the boat ready, and now so hit the water first time today, and we're really looking forward to sail that boat next couple of days hopefully. So we're gonna test all the systems, and then it's go time.
So it was my first time actually doing some parkour in a boat. So I was a little bit nervous before because I didn't know if the boat is going to be stable, or like I didn't want to
This is the weekly
brake.
Sailing
And
World
but
on
when
Water.
I get here yesterday,
Highlights of the
it
sport
was
of sailing
so good. It was
globally
really
in the last
stable,
7 days from August
I think I
19th,
can do more
2022.
cool things in a boat next time.
It's not looking good for Emirates Team New Zealand's land yacht program, as the lake in South Australia, on which they are intending to use as their test bed, is still covered in water. Glenn Ashby reports.
We've just arrived last night at Mount Ive Station. We're basically heading out now to the lake itself, Lake Erdner. Hopefully the surface of the lake's actually gone down a little bit from what we've seen previously, but we do know that there's still a little bit of water in there, but just going out to check it out and get a bit of a feel as to when we should be coming up here and actually setting up. $70 to 80 mils higher here than it was 4 weeks ago. I think the fact that the water's been sort of sitting further up the lake, and last week it's really been from sort of the northeast even, it's just sort of blown it all down into this southwestern corner, which is where we're obviously trying to operate.
Getting up in the air was absolutely fantastic. Really to see the vast majority of that dry was sort of super exciting, but then it was also quite frustrating. It was just this really small stretch of water that is actually just down in that southern area.
You've got to be prepared to have, a few setbacks along the way. Mother Nature will provide us the right opportunity when she's ready for this world speed record attempt.
Looks like we're going to have to be patient before we get out on the lake.
The Sevenstar Round Britain and Ireland race is beset by light winds. Pip Hare in her new Imoca MEDALLIA is leading and has passed the top of Scotland. It's been adrift and crews are beset by a new problem, running out of food.
Yes, we rounded Muckleflugger about 3 hours ago. Very, very, very happy to see that bit of land. It's been, we never would have imagined it was going to take so long to get up here, and it's been just challenge after challenge in terms of finding the wind and getting the boat going, so very high spirits to make it round. We're now currently beating down the east coast of Shetland in sort of fairly similar conditions. It's a light to moderate breeze, very fluky, and I think it's far from over. It's still very challenging meteorologically for the last bit of the race. Looking forward to hooking into this low pressure and just getting some miles underneath us down the North Sea, but then it all gets a bit complicated after that. So we are still kind of with the same mindset of picking our way through these complicated weather systems, and it is really complicated. If you look at a synoptic chart at the moment, all the fronts and different centres of pressure all over the place, it's a challenging place to sail at the best of times with tide and traffic, but the weather at the moment is another layer on top of that. So this has always been a challenging race, and that's one of the reasons why I entered it. But this has kind of taken it to another level. But yeah, it is downhill from here. We're really looking forward to the finish. We've got enough food, but the choice is beginning to diminish as all the ones that people didn't want are left in the bag. But we haven't got to fisticuffs yet. However, we're fairly sure that certain people are stashing things around the boat. We'll see. But it's all good. We are all happy.
When we left, we were thinking kind of 6 to 7 days. The routing was having us back, I think, on the 14th in the morning, and now we're looking at a 10, maybe 11-day scenario. Depends on how much of a sleigh ride we get down the North Sea.
So obviously that has posed some challenges to us. One of which was that we kind of prepared. Well, I provisioned for 9 days so that we had a bit of time. How are we doing on food?
Well, we are into our last bag, day 6 to 9. So this is all the food we have left. It does look like quite a lot, but we're going to rip through this quickly. So what I'm doing now is just sorting through, trying to avoid the temptation for people to kind of eat a bit too much of the main meals, which seem to be popular. We have clocked that Ben the Navigator is quite thrifty when it comes to sorting through and finding his favourites. Yeah, so we're kind of we've got plenty of tea bags. That's not going to be a stress. Plenty of desserts, but the kind of hearty main meals we're going to be a little bit short on. So we're going to probably cut out a sort of a lunch meal each day for the next couple of days, just to make sure we've got food at the end. Clearly, the last day we could go without much food anyway.
Do you think that's creating some sort of friction? Is it creating a problem for people?
There are certainly some people that seem to have strong preferences, others who are just grateful for what they can have. No, not really. I mean, this cruise so far has been very harmonious. In light winds, quite often you do eat a bit more at sea. I think when we get the big breeze down the North Sea, and it's actually pretty difficult to cook, the people tend to be a bit lazy and eat a bit less anyway.
And I know that there's been a bit of chat of trading. Which in your bag of stock there, which meal do you think currently has the highest value for a trade?
Oh well, if you're going on calories, then I think spaghetti bolognese is a bit of a favourite. A solid 1,000 calories, quite easy to eat, goes down well. There's a couscous in here somewhere, which everyone seems to like. Probably the stealth option is the posh baked beans. That actually is kind of, I don't know, it's got some kind of potato fritter thing, all sorts of funky beans. So it's actually not very British at all. It's much more Mediterranean. So that's a hot favourite.
Ben would do anything for Asian noodles.
Yeah, Asian noodles. In fact, I think we've been swapping that with you, Pip, haven't we, for the fish and parsley sauce?
Yeah, I'll trade for a fish and parsley sauce, anything with anyone.
There's a few favourites. I think there should be some biltong in here, although strangely enough I can't find any, so that might be I might be outdated there. I think we've got one thing of oat milk, one of semi-skimmed left, so should be enough for our tea. With a bit of a panic earlier, we thought we were out of tea, but we've got another bag. Probably more of a stress for Pip and I. We drink a lot more tea than the other watch.
And have we got a problem with water?
Well, as long as the water maker keeps going, we'll be fine. We're obviously fortunate that this boat's set up for kind of ocean crossing, so yeah, I think some of the other boats probably don't have water makers, so for them it'd be a bit more of a concern.
The final day at Airlie Beach Race Week, where a record 178 boats are taking part, concluded this week. Ross Chisholm, the Whit-sunday Sailing Club's event chairman, says, "A good way to finish off the regatta was with mainly south-southeasterlies of around 16 knots. The event suffered with light winds, and we have the opening race." The final day of the 505 Worlds in Ireland also started with no wind, and again the wind filled in from the northeast out to sea. Today the conditions were better than previous, with the wind filling in slightly stronger and holding for longer. Nearly all racing was conducted in 10 to 12 knots of wind.
Good day, Caleb Payne, 2022 Cork Island 505 World Champs. How do you feel, boys?
Oh, fantastic. We, we didn't really expect this, and came together awesome,
Absolutely. Yeah. What do I feel like? I feel like a world champ. That's what I'm feeling. There you go. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, there you go. Right, now we're getting some honest feeling. I love it.
Well, you can party once the work's done,
Yeah. Well, congratulations, boys. It was a convincing win. You guys, it looks like you've pulled a stock boat, stock sails out, and so you just sail better. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Just lots of racing experience and used it to our advantage, and obviously pairing up with Stu did great, and most of all our coach Dave Hughes, who was a vital asset to our team. There the guy is still working away. So
yeah. Coach Hughes, world-class coaching.
Exactly.
He's the man.
He's the man. There you go. So Coach Hughes, world-class coaching. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course the bar karate curse. We told you.
You called it. I was like, oh no.
It sounds like you need to start selling that spot.
Everyone that comes on the show wins.
Usually the worst thing you can do is talk about your race right before it, but bar karate's figured it out. So.
And you guys have too as well. It was an amazing performance. You looked form from day one, and then you were able to go through the range today. I wondered how you go to win your stuff, and it was just beautiful to watch. You were on fire.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations.
All right, see you when we get in.
All right, well done, boys.
Catch you later.
All right,
So
thank you, bar karate.
So Caleb and Stuart there. And your dirty underwear. Don't forget the dirty underwear.
Absolutely.
He now gets the change.
Nathan Batcher, Sam Pascoe, congratulations, second 2022 Cork Worlds in Ireland. We said you were the form boat coming in. We said it was between 1 and 2 boats, and it was just flipped on the pre-worlds. How do we feel?
I'm really happy with it. We'd have been over the moon with second before the event, and Stu and Caleb are a bit of a league apart, really. They're real professionals. So I'm second to those guys. So very happy with that. Best of the rest.
So the question I've got, you guys brought their boat down to them, didn't you? You delivered them the boat, you did everything for them, got them set up, and then they took the win from you.
All part of the fun, being in the boat building game. It's always nice to see your boats doing well. So,
Yeah. So you must be pleased then your boat's top too. I guess I'm going to give you a free plug. I'll get myself a discount for when I come to buy a 5-0. So the Ovington setup, Pennell and Backs, it was all standard setup for you guys.
Yeah, all standard kit. We've both got the new V2 hulls, which are gone really fast. So.
Oh, okay. So it's a different hull shape. Yeah. And was it just down to your brilliance as sailors, do you think, as well? Like you got to attribute some of that?
No, we don't quite a bit of sailing this year. It's a new rig to us. A lot of flatter sails, as we're really light. We're 30 kilos lighter than a lot of teams out there. So we've just had to work harder to make the rig work for us, which feels like we've got there.
Yeah, cool.
Pete Barton, class manager of the RS Aero class a couple of months ago, with a small team of sailors, tested the Aero at Lymington, and they loved it. Here is his report.
So I'm Pete Barton, I'm the class manager for the International RS Aero class and the UK RS Aero class, and I manage the class, organise the events, look after the class rules with the technical officer, and make sure that we can publicise the class and bring in lots of sailors to have fun in the RS Aero class with good events. The Aero came into production in 2014, so it's 8 years old this year. I think there are nearly 60 countries in the world have RS Aeros now. The Aero class now has 4 rigs, Aero 5, 6, 7 and 9. Its 5 rig is the smallest rig and it's good for sailors starting at about 45 kilograms upwards. The 9 rig, which I sail, is good for the heavier sailors, maybe up to 100 kilos. The hull weight is just 30 kilos, so it's half of the weight of a laser, and it's very easy for the smaller sailors to pull in and out of the water and it makes it incredibly exhilarating when you're sailing. It really accelerates very nicely, and it's very responsive with its carbon rig and its lightweight hull. So I think the RS Aero 5 is maybe 60 to 65 kilograms. I think the RS Aero 6 is about 65 to 72 kilograms. And I think the RS Aero 7 is maybe 73 to 83 kilograms. And then from 80 kilograms upwards, the Aero 9 is very exciting, especially when it is windy. From the cover on, it is 3 minutes. Maybe if I change a rig from a 5 rig to a 6 rig or a 6 rig to a 7 rig, maybe it is 2 more minutes. So it is 3 minutes to rig, 5 minutes if you have to do a whole rig change. Yes, it's lighter than the Optimist, and it's possible to lift it onto the car roof just with one person, one end at a time. I think an important thing is the fact that a very small lady can pull the boat up a steep slipway at the end of racing, and because the boat is so light, they all have a physique to handle it. It has carbon in it and it has epoxy in it, and all of the shapes and the flat sides is designed to minimise the surface area, to keep it a very lightweight design. The design is good, it's got a good planing surface at the back. The gunnels keep the water down so you don't get splashed in the face. The chine here means that it's very equal for different weights of sailors, and it keeps the water down so it's nice in your salty water, the waves stay down. The main tube is all in the middle, so the main does not get caught over the back corner of the boat. We have a blue button, magic blue button, which releases the rudder, which is very safe. And the foils, at the back of the foils, are beveled just on one side, not on that side, which means when you're planing very fast, the boat is silent, so you can go at speed and very quietly. The Aero is very tough and strong with breeze. We go out in 30 knots in Lymington, and as long as you use it correctly, you can bounce over waves, you can nosedive into the front of waves, and the mast is super strong, the deck is super strong, the boat is super strong. It is epoxy and it is carbon, which is stronger than polyester. So the boat is very light because it's lightweight materials, but these materials are stronger than alternative materials, which are heavier. So in important places where the structure takes place, there is carbon. Which carbon is wonderfully light and wonderfully strong.